to the very first episode of the Falling Upwards podcast. My name is Emma Kwan, and I'm here to usher you through all the highs and lows and random joys of life through the lens of failure. Not success, because who needs success? But why not failure? Because sometimes the other side of the coin, even though it's got gum on it, is exactly what you need, except obviously don't eat the chewing gum. With me is my dear friend, our lady with a lens, our feminist with a flash, our captain with a camera, our miss with a memory card slot. I did not plan this.
Did you not?
Miss Maddie Armstrong. No, I did not.
I was just about to ask you if you, noted them down right before you started this.
Nope, that's why memory card slot just came out of
You
nowhere.
came up with those? Wow, that was impressive, though.
I mean, thank you.
Hello.
Hello, how are you doing today?
Well, I'm shattered. Completely shattered.
We are both shattered. And I mean, I will say, going into this, knowing that we are both shattered, I feel like that does sum up the spirit of failure sometimes. Because, like when you start a thing, people ask you, are you ready? And you always want to say, yeah, I'm born ready. Neither of us are born ready in any capacity right now, but we're doing it anyway.
Mm-mm. Mm. Also, Emma is lying. This isn't our first one. We did an incredible first podcast episode where both our audios was pretty rubbish. So
Yeah. Yeah. See, failure all around. And some of you, hopefully, have listened to some of the gems, the snippets of that episode in our kind of little preview teaser, where you can hear, as Maddie said, where our audio went. But we hope you enjoyed it, and we're glad to have you here right now.
woo.
Woo! We're going to start with our first segment. It's the segment where, in the world, there's fake news, there's weird news. We bring mad news, also because Maddie's name is Maddie, so mad news. Woo! Yay!
Mm.
Maddie, what do you have for us today?
Also, because my name is spelt with IE, I always visualize it as the words mad and die, and I just think that's funny. But maybe that's just because it's me that I just find it funny. Other people might find it quite twisted. Anyway,
I mean,
what a way to summarize a person.
maybe it's the exhaustion. I just find that hysterical.
I can tell.
What's your mad news of the day, Maddie?
So, okay, I just thought I'd tell you about this anecdote because I've just been at work, so now it's all just buzzing away in my head. But basically, I work at a cafe.
When you're not busy being like a pro
Being
photographer, of
an
course.
incredible photographer girl. I work at a
Yeah.
cafe to make it work, We're working girls out here. We
Mhm,
do a billion things.
mhm,
And
mhm.
it's this cute little sort of farmy place because I live in the middle of nowhere basically. And it doubles as a wedding venue. So all the employees kind of work across both. And one wedding that I worked, the bride was not having a good time because the photographer was a bit of a butt. Firstly, I don't think he was very good. Obviously, I couldn't say this to anyone, but as a photographer myself, I think he was pretty rubbish
Mm.
because he was using the flash at really odd times. Obviously, a flash is good um in many different situations, especially like a portrait shoot if you've got other lighting to make it really good, but he was using it for every single photo. And I kid you not, he to get a group photo of all of the guests, he turned off all the lights so everyone in the room was waiting in complete pitch darkness, and then he just put on his really bright flash to take the picture as the only lighting
What?
for the picture. No, I didn't see the photo, but I don't need to know that will have looked really weird. I don't know what he was going for. But that's not even why the bride wasn't happy. So what happened was the photographer left his camera on the floor, which you just don't do
Oh my
ever. You don't
god.
leave it. You just, oh my word, you do not. You do not leave your camera anywhere. You do not let it leave your hands for a second, or if it's not in your hands, it's in your bag that's across your body. You look after that thing like it's your firstborn, you know?
Mm,
Like,
mm.
I just can't believe. Um, and obviously, because there were children playing, his flash got broken. Um, so then this wonderful, sweet, kind old photographer man decided that the bride's wedding day was the perfect time to tell her that she owed him an extra £400 to cover the cost of his broken flash, which also he didn't like have any he didn't have any like contract or like written thing saying they have to pay for damages. So she didn't need to, but he was, like, demanding it, and then, like, she was crying, so this photographer, who wasn't even good, by the way, basically ruined the mood of this poor bride on her wedding day, so yeah, that's just a not so fun anecdote from just work that was in my head.
Oh my god.
Mm, indeed.
I feel like that's you hear a lot of stories about this is my experience hearing people who shoot weddings. Often what you get back, what you hear from them is ways that they've been shafted, or ways that like the wedding was really difficult, or just a pain in a certain way, or that the bridal party was quite difficult. And often
Mm,
I feel like people come away with knowing, oh, actually being a wedding photographer is really difficult. It can be like a really, really thankless job. And you have
mm,
just turned that on its head right there.
honestly. Well, yeah, I mean, it is obviously hard for a lot of us photographers, but I don't know, this dude, I just didn't like his personality, and you know that he'll have been paid so much money
Mm.
only for him to not even do a good job, like, in my opinion, and I've done a couple weddings, and I've really not charged that much. I mean, that's my own problem, really. I really should charge, but still, like, oh, yeah, be a nice person, but yeah, just a little rant.
Well, that's our mad news for the day.
Mhm.
Sometimes wedding photographers have it hard, and sometimes they are
A butts.
assholes. Yep.
Yeah. So be careful who you're hiring. Hire me instead.
Hire Maddie instead. She'll see her socials at the end of this episode.
Yeah.
They'll be put in the podcast description. You know where to find her. As I said, she is our
Mhm.
miss with a memory card slot. I really don't know why I came
Yeah,
up with that. So
it's good.
thanks. Thanks for the boost. Which leads us into our main segment, which of course, Falling Upwards is a podcast where we look at failure, where we look at where things go wrong in life, and sometimes it's not perfect, and actually failure doesn't always need to be great. And so I thought I'd kick off our first official episode with the actual definition of failure. I thought I'd present that to you, Maddie.
Woo!
So I decided that I'd go to the most reliable place to get a definition of failure. I went to the absolute arbiter of the English language, obviously, Urban Dictionary,
Mhm.
and I thought I'd read out some of these definitions for you
Okay.
to kick off what failure is. So, entry one, failure, definition, me. Another definition, word used to describe people who are crap, e.g., President Bush.
Right.
Another one, failure, completely incompetent, useless, and unable to complete the simplest tasks successfully.
Mhm.
I feel like that's actually quite on the ball.
Yeah.
Another one, failure, Donald Dickhead Trump.
A lot of these are quite political.
They are, to bounce off that, failure, the United Nations. And then this person, clearly he's been through some stuff. Failure, when your best just isn't good enough. Example, that's the crappiest finger painting I've ever seen, Bobby, you little failure.
Oh.
Another one, failure, the New England Patriots 2007 to 2008 football season. I feel that's a fan that's been quite hurt there.
Mm.
And then this one, I think, comes from an older adult. Failure, a group of three or more teenagers.
What? Oh, that's so mean. Teenagers can accomplish things.
Clearly, that person did not agree to.
That's mean.
What do you think about those definitions? Do you agree with any of them?
I don't agree with that last one. That was mean. That was a mean old person. Um,
This person has done quite a long entry. I feel like I've got to break it down for you. So they've given actually alternate definitions. So failure, example one, a good excuse not to try.
wow.
Two, one who fucks up all the time.
Mm.
Sorry, this is listen to this podcast post watershed. Three, one who goes to Yale but has the vocabulary and comprehension of a sea cucumber. Again, feels like someone that's been a bit hurt. That's put that out there.
Mm.
See also, and this is a little bit, I think maybe a bit brutal. See also George W. Bush. George Bush comes up in a lot of these definitions.
Hmm.
W. Ashley Simpson, Enron, Operation Iraqi Liberation, quote, Homer Simpson, trying is the first step towards failure. So I feel like that person, he or she or they have had to get a lot off their chest, kind of, because that's a
Mm.
very long breakdown, isn't it?
Yeah.
And this one is even more kind of philosophical, if you want a philosophical take on it. Failureism, the state of being a complete failure, so much so that it is virtually a religion or way of life. AKA, I completely suck at Halo, so I became a member of failureism.
Wow. I feel I feel like if you're like playing video games constantly, then you're already partway there, love.
Oh, Andy. Oh,
I say this as someone that plays video games, so this is a self dig, by the way.
okay. Why would you say that though?
'Cause you could be doing anything else, you know? Like, do even doing any
Wait, okay, you say that, but I've spent today. So we haven't talked about both our gaming habits much, but I'm a big fan of the game Simpsons Tapped Out,
right.
and in it you can build a monorail. And I'm not gonna lie, I've spent a year developing my monorail, and today I finally put the last piece of the monorail in, so it became a full loop, like a closed loop. And I'll be honest,
And how do you feel, MA?
I it might be the exhaustion talking, but it feels like one of the greatest accomplishments of my life right now.
But it's not real.
It's got four stops.
It's not real,
It goes through
MA.
all the different districts of my version of Springfield,
It's not real.
and it took me a long
It's
time.
virtual. Ca Wait, what is a monorail?
It's like it's like the underground, but I was gonna say upstairs, and I'm like, this is the exhausted talking. It's like the underground, but in the sky, but like not like in the atmosphere, so that you die, but like kind of like maybe 20 or 30 feet up.
Wait, let me Google this. But you can't MA, honey, you can't even ride it. Oh, that's a monorail.
Yeah. But you can like you can click on it and you can watch it go round and just feel the satisfaction that you've done it. Do you not feel satisfaction from video games at any point?
This is my whole point as why I was calling it failure because right,
Okay.
every single game I've ever dedicated actual time to, they always involve like attaining some kind of thing. Like maybe it's a character that you might even end up spending a bit of money to like make sure you get, you know? Um,
Mhm.
or it's like, I mean, in the case of the game I've been playing since I was 10, Star Stable, it's like a horse you get. Or it could be like a,
Star Stable?
yeah, it's a horse game.
Okay, wait, keep going. I'm gonna look this up though. Keep
It
going.
could be a car you get, or it could be like something you build. But at the end of the day, it's not real, okay? I don't have a beautiful little weird like fish horse in real life, which would be sick. I don't have Boot Hill from Honkai Star Rail in real life. That would be great, but I don't because he's not actually real. You don't have your monorail. It's not real, MA. We should focus on reality.
But like if it makes you happy or gives you like an emotional boost, is that still not worth something?
It completely is worth something. But the thing about video games,
Yes.
I've been arguing against my whole self that's been trying to like
Mm,
find reason that it is something worthwhile. That's all I ever do in life. That's all we ever seem to do is if what we're doing right now
mm,
doesn't have a reason or
mm.
importance, then we're failing, you know? So we're always trying to, like, to give it some kind of significance or meaning, but sometimes it doesn't have that. Sometimes, yeah, it is about that little dopamine.
Yeah.
It is about, like, just rushing off to this fun little world, you know? That's what it's all about.
I also love playing Animal Crossing.
Me too.
Um, yeah, none of that is real,
No.
but it makes you so happy.
Yes, and the characters are adorable.
When I'm putting together that little house, yeah, and I'm putting together like, when I got the Happy Home expansion,
Mhm.
and I was, like, trying to, like, m make sure that all these little houses were decorated and everything, I was like, you have that weird moment where you're, like, playing it at 3 in the morning and you're like, "You know what? Maybe I would be a great interior decorator because I've just made a house for a walrus, and it
Mm.
feels awesome."
Mm.
And then you wake up and you realize that one, walruses do not talk to you, and two, that means you cannot be an interior decorator for a walrus.
It's not real, but in the moment it is, and that's okay.
It is. What's your favorite video game of all time?
Oof. Oh, Emma, that's
Hmm.
painful.
Okay, like top three, top five.
Oh. So many people will have heard of Genshin, I think, because that's a really popular game, and that's not in the top 3, but it is up there.
Mm,
But there's a couple
mm,
games by the same developer, within the same kind of storyline. For
mm.
like 10 years, Star Stable was my favorite game, and I feel like for nostalgia's sake, I would still say so, even though it's not the game it used to be. It does feel like that amazing storyline has kind of been abandoned a little bit, you know? I mean, it's not.
Wait, what's the storyline? What's the storyline?
Oh my gosh, we will be here years if I get into it. How do I even describe it? I feel like the best things cannot be explained in a few words.
Well, give like, if you were in an elevator and somebody was like, "I just want a game to play and start. Give me a rundown real quick before we get to the ground floor." What would you say?
Okay, well, if you're someone who likes Animal Crossing or other stuff like that, you just want something chill. I find it really fun because the whole thing is about riding horses, collect horses that you like, but the storyline is really interesting. It revolves around like these 4 girls that have like an intertwined destiny, and they all have these powers. And there's this alternate dimension called Pandoria, where the sky is like pink, and it's all just really, really alien and just really cool and mysterious. And these Pandoric cracks keep appearing everywhere and leaking out this Pandoric energy, and it's like messing things up. And then these 4 girls realize that they have these powers that can help sort of stop it, and they also have, like, this kind of soul connection with their horses. It's just a good story, Emma, it's really good. That's all I'm saying so far.
How long have you been playing it for?
So, I think I was, like, 10 when I started playing, so I've been playing it for, like, 11 or 12 years-ish.
Wow.
Mm.
Does it update? Because I feel like some games update really, really well, like, they update really frequently, like, they keep it up with the times, and some games don't.
It's weekly.
Really? Oh my god.
For, like, more than half of my life, every Wednesday, it's this is so sad, but, like, every Wednesday, it's been in the back of my head, "Oh, I need to check the Star Stable update."
Maddie, I have been building a fictional monorail for a year.
Mm.
So, I mean, nobody's judging anybody here.
Yeah, but I've been playing the horse game for 10 years. Okay, okay, fine. We're only on number 1. But, number 2 is Honkai Impact Third, which is from the same developers of Genshin, and that is also because the story is so incredible. Like, I kid you not, it helped me through, the worst period of my life mental health-wise, and it really does touch on, like, every single deep, psychologically, like, stimulating themes possible. Also, the music is incredible. It's the best music out of all their games. And the scenery is stunning, and I love the characters. Like, I see myself in quite a few of the characters. They're just really, really, really good. I love that game so much. And the only reason it's not number 1 is because Star Stable, like,
Is your life.
it's just that's my childhood, you know?
Yeah.
And then number 3 is a pretty new game. That's called Honkai Star Rail, and obviously, as you might have guessed from the similar name, it's kind of within the same universe as Honkai Impact,
Mm.
but it's like an alternate sort of universe version of a lot of the characters, and it's a completely different story. But that's really fun. You go around in this space train, visiting different planets and trying to save them from what's called a stellar run that's like bringing doom to the planet, and then you try and help the civilization, and then you move on into the stars, and it's fun. Yeah, so there's
Wait, that's quite cool though.
mhm, those are my top 3 games.
Is that like a web game?
What do you mean?
As in, like, do you play that on computer?
Yeah. Yeah, they're all PC games.
See, because I'm more of a mobile gamer.
Yeah. No, I like a big screen.
Oh, do you have like a special gaming laptop, or do you do it all on one? Because I know, some people some people have gaming laptops.
I bought this laptop, this lovely HP laptop, for quite a lot of money because it had 16 gig, is it gig? Whatever, the RAM
Mm.
that's supposedly, you know, enough for, like, all these games, but it's honestly, a couple of them have been really struggling, like, there's just not enough memory, so
Oh
I'm
no.
thinking I'm gonna have to update it again, which is gonna be even more expensive, but I wanna play my games with the high quality graphics, you know?
What Okay, in your head, what makes a good game? For me, it's like, I know everybody's like, "Oh, it has to have an element of addictive play," but I think especially for cozy games, you want that sense of the story element and
Mm.
also the idea that, like, you want it to take you away, but not so much that it stresses you out. Like, that's me with The Simpsons, right? As soon as I log on, I'm in my Springfield. I'm currently, I'm trying to organize the different areas. I want it to be, for all the residents, obviously, I want them to go to different places in this world that doesn't exist, as you've reminded me now.
I'm sorry.
And no, but it's like, and it's that sense that, it gives you a target or things you want to do, but that don't make you feel like, wow, this is another terrible chore to
Mm.
add to my life.
See, for me sorry, are you done? Are you done, Emma?
We're all tired in. Yeah. Yes. What is it for you?
For me, because I not to get into, like, the absolutely infinitely sticky mess that is my brain. I don't know why I said sticky, that's a bit gross.
I mean, brains are sticky.
But, like, because when you say messy,
Mm.
you think, "Oh, that's a bit messy," but if you say sticky mess, it's, like, even messier. That's my brain. So not to get too deep into that confusing place, um, but I, like, only feel things extremely. So I either don't feel anything at all, like, I don't care at all, or it's like, "Ah!" You know?
Yeah, I'm the same though. We're both the same in that respect.
Yeah, so I basically need something that I'm gonna get so addicted to that I can't bear to be away from it, which I know doesn't sound healthy, but in that case, I would call it a positive obsession because you're like enjoying it, you know? You're really milking it for the feelings it's giving you. And like it's not hurting you in any way. It's just taking time out of your life. But in my opinion, that's a good game. Like one that really grabs you and like doesn't let you go out of its comforting grasp that you develop Stockholm syndrome for the game essentially. It's got to have a really good soundtrack, um, beautiful scenery. I love something that looks interesting. I live in England where the sky is never blue, and the only color I see because I live in the countryside is green. Like it's gray and green, and that's it. Even the buildings are gray. Everything is either gray or green.
That sounds so lush though.
Okay. Maybe to you that sounds like a luxury, but it's not. We do need more.
Yeah, like Linda, our mutual friend Linda,
Yeah, Linda.
who no Linda, shout out to Linda if you're listening to
Shout out to
this.
Linda.
Woo! Like she loves the countryside. Like you saying, "Oh, I see
Mm.
green." I'm just like, there are people that would be like, "I would love to look out the window and just see green." But maybe it's just because you're used to it.
The only place where I'm content with there being no blue sky is you already know what I'm gonna say. I hope.
Yeah, I do. but I think you need to say it
The
anyway.
Lake District. Because
It's just lovely.
the mountain like, the shape of the landscape makes up for how crappy, like, the light and color is, you know? It's so dramatic
Mm.
that it is still so beautiful, and then in the rare times the sun actually does make an appearance, it is like paradise, you know? It's
Mm.
so stunning. There's not like an ugly square meter of the Lake District, in my opinion.
I feel like you would love Lake Como
Where's that?
in Italy. It's like this big lake
Oh,
in the north of
wait.
Italy, and I think you would love it.
Let's just move there. Let's just forget everything and move there.
When I went there with my mum, it was like tipping it down with buckets on the day, and we just took a boat out across the lake, and it was still lovely.
Still beautiful.
And I was like, that's how you know it's good though, because
Yeah.
even when it's raining, but and I'm not a rain person. I know some people are rain people. I'm not a rain person, but even in the rain, I was like, you know what, this is pretty peak.
Mm.
Are you a rain person?
It depends on the rain. So
Ooh.
I love it when it comes down like bullets.
Mm.
I don't like it when it's just spitting at you, you know, like sea spray. It just can't be bothered, you know? You're either raining or you're not raining. I wanna feel like the water's in my head. Thank you.
we're, we're the absolute opposite. When you said, "Oh, I love when it feels like bullets," I was like, "That sounds like my definition of hell."
But, like
Because I mean, obviously, like in Southeast Asia, there's monsoon season, and I feel like you'd like that then,
right.
because that's like you could if you stand out in the rain in monsoon season, it's like genuinely that's your shower for the day. It's so heavy. I remember being like maybe 6 or 7, and I was in my dad's hometown of Ipoh in Malaysia, and we had gone to the mall, and then I remember this because we just bought a toy, and I was like holding it, and it was like it was tipping it down, like it's rain that's so heavy that like people are just like hiding. It's just so it's like the entire atmosphere is just water. You would love this clearly.
That sounds so fun.
And I remember at that age, I remember that age being like, oh, I don't want my toy to get wet. And it got to the point where usually it's like my dad is happy to like walk home in the rain with a bit of an umbrella or whatever. And he was like, no, we're just gonna stand here until it calms down because this is it's like a bath. It's like just a
Mm.
bath of water. But that sounds like your dream.
Yeah. You need a bit of rain every now and then.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah?
I get how rain is important. I just it can go do its thing and I'll wait for it to do its thing.
Do you not Emma, do you not love sitting inside your bedroom under, like, the warmth of your duvet covers while it's just hammering against your window? Please tell me you like that. Emma, say something!
I feel like I'm ambivalent. I just don't I can take it or leave it. And I also I now feel like I've disappointed
You have
you.
greatly disappointed me. This is one of life's biggest
Like
comforts.
there's nothing wrong with it, but at the same time it's kind of like but like I know rain has to happen. Like I know the sun has to come up.
Mm,
And that's like fine, but I'm not like, "Oh, yay." I really feel like I've caused you pain now.
you have. Like,
Because it's like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just like I it doesn't do it for me, Maddie.
wow.
That's it. I'm sorry. Please don't hate me.
Well, I won't hate you.
It's the black mark against my name.
I'm just disappointed. Yeah.
Like I get why people like it. It's like the
You're on the naughty step.
it's like how white noise really like comforts people. It's like I
Does it not comfort you?
no.
Oh.
Does it comfort you?
Yeah.
Okay, what about because I'm curious as somebody who does not get this, what about it comforts you?
There's multiple things, but this is quite specific to me. Um,
Okay.
so one thing, I have tinnitus. Um, so I don't know why. It's like it's like just listening to a louder tinnitus is somehow comforting. Um, but also, as you know, but
Mm.
not many other people know, I have my sensory issues and I have lots of noise triggers. So a lot of the time, like loud white noise is the best barrier, kind of, because you can't close your ears. You can close your
Ah.
eyes.
Mhm.
Often I'll just play music loudly, but like in a song, it's not an equal, a constant, a constant even sort of sound really to block things off. Sometimes it's quieter, sometimes it's really bassy, or there's not enough bass to like block out trigger noises outside. But what is the best thing, and sometimes I play in addition to music as like an extra layer of protection, is just a load of white noise because it is that basically.
Do you listen to it to help you go to sleep?
No. No, I need complete silence to sleep.
Really?
Yeah, which is why it's good that I live where I do because it is silent at night.
Wow. See, I can't with complete silence. It freaks me out.
Really? So how do you
Yeah.
sleep?
So either it's just like there's stuff in the background. So for example, there was a period where, hi Linda, shout out Linda. I stayed at Linda's house. I was like house sitting for her. Where this is when she had gerbils. Um, we
Oh,
have a friend called Linda. She's a mutual friend. She used to have
yeah, we love
gerbils.
Linda.
That's the story. And they would like you can obviously hear them like scratching and scritching and just running about. So like it can be as simple as that, or it can be as much as like I'll put like an audiobook or something.
Wow.
But for whatever reason, I can't deal with snoring. Like
Yeah.
if it's snoring, I'm just like, oh my God, this is never going to send me to sleep. But if it's just like some kind of background noise or something like that, then yeah.
That's so like insightful into how different people's minds work though, because we are the opposite in that
Mm.
way. Because I cannot do any noise. The only So I don't listen to white noise to sleep, but the only thing that I can hear and still sleep is rain.
Mm. That makes sense though. Yeah.
Doesn't that just feel so full circle?
What about light? Like light on, light off, complete darkness?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm scared of the dark. So I always have low sort of lights on, and that's fine. Doesn't stop me from
Really?
sleeping.
See, again, I'm the opposite. I need darkness.
This is so interesting.
So basically, what we've learned is we can't ever share a hotel room.
Oh no.
No, all the times we're like, "Oh, are we gonna travel to do this? Let's share a hotel room." Now we know that's not possible.
Oh, one of us is just gonna have to suck it up.
So, like, they have those sensory pods where you can, like, lie in the pod and it's, like, pitch black and everyone's like, "Oh, it's meant to be like what you experienced before you were, like, given birth to." Would you freak out?
Yes, that sounds traumatizing.
People do that though, people love that. Like, some people are like,
Oh.
"Oh, this, like, revolutionized my life and the way that I saw myself because I did this."
Yeah, I'm gonna put that on my list of things I'm not going to do.
A sensory deprivation tank cuts a person off from as many sensory inputs as possible. People who like it claim that it can help with easing anxiety, relaxing muscles, and reducing pain. Current research indicates that people in good health can benefit from well, that's why it's not going to work, isn't it? Because how many people are in good health these days?
I thought you were
Let's be
just gonna
honest.
say, "That's why it's not gonna work, Maddie. You're not in good health."
How many people are in good
Just thought,
health?
"Oh, thanks, Emma."
Realistically, what even is good health?
No one, literally everyone is like, if you've got no physical ailments, you're still mangled in the head somehow. I just know. I don't care how put together you look. I know, I know there's something wrong with you in there.
That's it. Nobody is in perfect health, surely. Like, our bodies are always changing, our
Mm,
minds are always going through something.
mm,
This is why perfection is unattainable always.
yeah.
Always.
Yet we somehow still pursue it.
This is why we suffer as a
This is
species.
why we constantly think we're failing because we set a standard of perfection for ourselves that we're never going to achieve. So we're always failing to be perfect.
Exactly. And moving on from our midsection about failure and other things
Mhm.
in life, we are going to move into a little section that we like to call the exchange, in part because Maddie and I, as you can tell, we're good mates, but we do share different interests. And we thought a lovely thing to do would be to kind of swap interests. We've exchanged interests. We're going to deep dive and experience the lakes of one another's interests that we like.
The sentence got away from
And
you.
it did, it did. It really, it just ran and ran and
Yeah.
ran. So Maddie's thing that she's brought to the table is
Nee!
that she loves
I'm just spoiling it.
is that she loves horses, if you
Yeah,
can tell. Do you want to tell us more about that? I mean, you can tell us via neighing if you like.
like the whole thing.
I mean, you could try, I guess.
I think I'll use human words.
Okay. You don't want to
Um,
provoke our equine friends.
yeah, man. No, I like horses.
Okay. Is that where we're stopping?
There.
Okay. Um,
Yeah, I don't yeah.
Maddie, before going into this, Maddie did tell me there are over 200 horse breeds, which I had no idea there were that many horse breeds. Like, my knowledge of horses is that they exist,
Mm.
which is very minimal, and like whatever they do in the Olympics. So this is a big, learning curve for me. Whereas as we've just found out, Maddie has spent 10 years of her life playing a horse game.
Mhm. Actually, more like 12 years, I think.
Do you remember the moment that your love of horses started?
No, it was kind of, what do they call it when it's inherited?
Inherited?
Thanks, Emma. Thank you. It was inherited. Because my mum, she's always loved horses. Like, as a kid, we'd watch Spirit, and I still love that movie.
That's such a great movie,
Such a
though.
good movie.
Underrated movie.
And, like, Black Beauty and, there was this one called Flicker, and Warhorse, which don't watch if you love horses, please. Wait, or is that Black Beauty? Anyway, there's one, like, where a
No.
horse dies, it's horrible.
But
Ugh,
both of them are very moving. Both of them
traumatizing.
are very moving
Um,
movies.
and
So,
flipping,
yeah.
The Neverending Story, which I've gone on about to you before, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, but the horse scene in that is
Mm.
horrible. But yeah, anyway, I love horses. I love riding them. I love how free they are. I think they're beautiful animals. Yeah, that's like the extent of it, really. Love.
That's beautiful, though. I love that. You made that sound very beautiful and wondrous and magical.
Oh, that's good. See, I can get if you're not like mad about horses, that's fine. But if you like actually dislike them, I think that's weird. Like I was talking to some people at work when we were in the kitchen, and I was talking about how I'm sort of a horse girl, and they were like, "I don't like him." Like the kitchen
Ooh.
boy said he like disliked horses, and I said, "Why?" And he said, "They just look weird."
What?
No kidding, it's an animal. It's not gonna have a humanoid body and face. Is that what you expect of animals?
Wait, that was his
I
only
don't
reason.
know.
He just thought they looked weird.
Yeah,
I'm sure we look weird to horses, to be fair.
exactly. Like, faces are so short.
I get people that are scared of them, though, because they are very powerful animals.
Yeah. Doesn't it surprise you how big they are?
They're huge, man.
When you're actually up by a horse, you're like, "Whoa, it's a horse!"
When you look at a horse, you get why people back in the day were like, yeah, this is going to transport us places.
Mm.
What I am exchanging back to Maddie is just nerd franchises.
Mhm.
I love nerd franchises. I didn't know this, but we found out in the preview episode that Maddie actually loves Star Trek,
Mhm.
which is awesome because I do also love Star Trek. But we're going to start, therefore, with Star Wars
Yeah.
instead. Ooh, Star Wars. Um, so
Okay.
I thought, Maddie, I'd drop a couple of random Star Wars facts.
Okay.
The first one is Yoda. Do you know who Yoda is?
The green guy. And he says, "Yoda, I am."
This is why we're doing this exchange. Yes, you're right. Yoda is actually the Sanskrit word for warrior.
Right.
And another Yoda
Mm.
fact, which when you know this, you'll be like, oh, I'm glad that this didn't happen. They were originally going to get a monkey to play Yoda.
Oh, how would that have worked?
Well, see, that's what I also wonder. So I'm kind of glad they didn't do that because I feel like it could have gone a bit wrong.
Would they have put, like, like, prosthetics on a monkey? Wouldn't that have been ethically
That just sounds like the worst idea ever.
questionable? Yeah.
Luckily, that didn't happen.
Mm.
Another fact is the person that voiced Yoda, Frank Oz, also voiced Miss Piggy from the Muppets.
Whoa! Now that is information.
Yeah, yeah, very cool. Very, very
Wow.
cool. So
Very
he's a
cool.
big, big icon, as well as the Cookie Monster. So
Wow.
very iconic. Yeah,
Oh.
amazing. We're thanking hmv.com for these facts, by the way. In the original Star Wars, E.T. appears.
Wow.
E.T.'s alien species is present within Star Wars, and their first appearance can be seen in The Phantom, which is
Oh, wow.
wild. The first movie that I'm going to suggest for you to watch is The Phantom Menace. So you will see E.T. at some point.
Is that the first of the prequels?
Yes, it is. We're doing it in chronological order.
Right.
That's the exchange. And obviously,
Mm.
on the episodes where we do have a lovely guest, they will also bring something to share with everybody, which is very exciting. Who knows what they're going to bring? Could be anything. A friend said to me the other day, she was like, what if the thing that they bring is like just a really obscure, like, what if it's deep sea diving?
That's great
Or
though.
like,
Tell me about it.
yeah, or like, what if it's, I don't know, like, what if they paint figurines?
Sick.
You don't know, because the whole point of the exchange is it's something that you love, and it's not because it has to like be a side hustle. It doesn't have to like make you successful. It's just something that makes you purely happy.
Hmm.
So who knows? What maybe they grow vegetables and show them at fairs.
Yeah. I don't know why this is the immediate comparison I thought of, but I was gonna say the Wallace and Gromit Curse of the Were-Rabbit movie. Just like in that.
That's a great movie.
Do you think Feathers McGraw is scary?
I did when I was like a kid.
I love that you know who I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
When you're a kid, you don't like, when you're an adult and you look back on stuff that scared you as a kid.
Mm.
Some of it is actually like, sometimes I actually get surprised I wasn't more scared at things. Like with The Lion King with Scar and the hyenas,
Yeah.
I was a bit scared then, but when I watch it back now, I'm like, that is actually so sinister.
Mm.
These animators, they know what they're doing.
Like claymation is, I think, has the most potential for frightening. I don't know why. It's just this surreal thing. Like Coraline?
I've only seen it once because it scares me so much. I can't watch it again. And the buttons for the eyes, oh my god.
Oh,
Oh,
it has so much potential for being stunning, but also for being so horrifying. I think that's why it's such an interesting art form. I still can't watch it.
which is it's like a credit to it, because that shows how effective it was.
Mm.
They did it. This is a success. In our podcast about failure, they succeeded.
They did what they intended to do, which was traumatize children. You did it.
Oh my god.
They're all just giving themselves high five, like, yes, we scared the children.
Do you want to end the podcast on that cheery note?
Yeah.
Maddie, what message would you like to leave? As you will grow to know, we always want to leave our listeners with a pertinent message from each of us at the end of every episode. Maddie, what would you like our listeners to be left with from you?
Get a job. Go to work. Stop playing video games and get a job. Thank you.
For anyone who did not listen to the preview episode, she ended on this really wonderful, uplifting message of like, be kind and like, love Eurovision.
Yeah, watch
And I
Eurovision.
feel like you've really gone the other way, Maddie.
I'm just hitting them with the cold, hard reality. You just need to get up and work, man. Get that cash. What about you, MA?
I will leave you with skincare is important for all, irrespective of your gender. Have a good skincare routine. I feel like there's a lot of stigma against like guys going out and asking like, how do I get my skin in good condition?
Oh, yeah.
What's my skincare routine? Like, people try to still paint that as quite an effeminate thing, which is nonsense. And I had a male friend talk to me yesterday about his skincare routine, and I was like, actually, I'm really pleased for you that you're looking after your skin and your well-being. Get a skincare routine. It doesn't matter what your background is.
It's the same with like washing.
Sorry, what? Do you mean like showering or like washing laundry?
There's men that won't like wash their feet or their bums because they just let the water run down, and it's like,
That's
honey,
oh.
honey, Please. Okay, maybe this is my second message. Wash your ass. Thank you. Get a job and have a shower. It's the important stuff, Emmy. The important stuff is out in episode 1.
That's true.
Mhm.
You can enjoy all of this and more from us in the
Yeah. I
future.
hope you enjoyed.
Yeah. Have a good one, everyone.
Mhm.
Bye.
Bye.